Hello, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of VetsPlusSports.com. This is your host, Terrell Cool Beans Davis, along with my co host, Mr. James Miller.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing this Saturday evening? Hope y'all doing well. And if it's cold where you're at, staying warm. Before we get into this episode, I'll let Cool Beans do a shout out to our listeners.
Yes, we'd like to give a shout out to those that come on here to listen to the lives. I'd like to thank y'all for giving us their undivided attention, and those for y'all that have come back and watch the replays. Thank you for that. We also, for our radio edition, we do it on Mondays. Well, we record on Mondays, usually posted by Wednesday. Our radio cities are, we have Ashburn, Virginia, Boardman, Oregon, um, Washington, D.C., San Jose, California, Brussels, Belgium, Falkenstein, Germany, Grinzek, Weiland, Germany, Beckley, West Virginia, and Midlothian, Virginia. Thank y'all for listening.
And thank everybody for tuning in. Beans he's wanting to give some news there when we get there to the women's NBA. Before we do, I'll just touch on a little bit on the NHL hockey. I guess just like anything else, you got trade deadlines and trades going on. And the Rangers landed JT Miller in a blockbuster deal with the Canucks. So trading's going around there. Um, as well in hockey, just as there is in the women's NBA, the NFL. When we get to the NFL, they'll see where also the Bills let go 6 players.
Whoa, buddy, I didn't hear this one.
I didn't click on it to see who all, but we'll get there when we get there. But let me go over some scores right now. Let's see what we got going on. They got some games going on right now. You got the Senators and the Wild at the end of the second period. The Senators up 3-0. They're tied up 1-1 at the end of the second period. Highlanders and Lightning. The Predators and Penguins are 12 minutes left in the third period. Penguins up 2-0. The Jets are up on the Capitals 4-2. 18 minutes left in the third. You've got the Kings over the Hurricanes right now, 3-1. 16 minutes in the third period. Just starting the third period. Maple Leafs over the Oilers right now, 3-1. That's going to be a good one. Maple Leafs are 30-19. The Oilers are 32-15. We'll see if those Oilers can come back.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got one more game getting ready to start. The Red Wings and the Flames will be starting about 10. Two finals to report. The Panthers beating the Blackhawks 5-1. And you've got the Bruins over the Rangers 6-3. So, the Rangers made that big move. The Rangers are 24, 23-4. So maybe that big move will help them start climbing up and the standings, which I'll go ahead and touch on them a little bit. Eastern Conference, you've got the Florida Panthers are 31-19. And then the Toronto Maple Leafs are 30-19, which we back up. The Florida Panthers are 31-19-3. The Maple Leafs 30-19-2. And then you got the Ottawa Senators are 27-20-4. And you got the Bruins 26-22-6. In the Metropolitan Division, you got the Capitals 34-11-6. The Carolina Hurricanes 32-16-4. And the Jersey Devils 29-18-6. And the Columbus Blue Jackets are 26-19-7. Moving to the Western Conference. You got the Winnipeg Jets 36-14-3. Dallas Stars 33-17-1. Minnesota Wild 31-17-4. Colorado Avalanche are right there at 30-21-2. And moving on down to the Pacific, Edmonton Oilers, that's who's just getting ready, that's who's playing now. They're 32-15-4. The Vegas Golden Knights is 31-15-6. Los Angeles Kings are 26-17-6. And then the Calgary Calgary Flames are 25, 18, and 7. You know, just looking there, the Vegas Golden Knights, they just started about 3 or 4 years ago,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken. And they've been up at the top dog ever since.
Dang.
To be starting out as a a new team, a new franchise. Usually, man, they're at the bottom of new franchises are at the bottom until they start getting players in.
This is true, but sometimes you get that X factor that don't go like that. Because remember when the Jacksonville Jaguars first came out, even though they was an expansion team, I think they third or they fourth year being around, they made it to the AFC championship game. They just lost.
And then I'm trying to find it was New York, I think, wasn't it? Let's see where they at. Okay, see, I did not know. This is something I did not know because I don't follow hockey. I didn't know New York had 2 hockey teams.
Oh, just like they got 2 football teams.
Yeah. So you got the New York Islanders and the New York Rangers.
Yeah, you know that thing when you said that trade about the Rangers. Even though when you first came on, you said we're going NHL and you want to talk about a trade. When you said the Rangers and they traded for it, why I thought you was talking about the Texas Rangers and baseball at first.
Well, you know, when the Rangers, they got to look. And I didn't know when I said Rangers, I didn't know exactly because I think pops up my, Texas, that's what pops
Yeah,
up in my mind. But you got the New York Rangers. They're down towards the bottom. I don't know how many they select. I don't know if they select 8 to go to the playoffs. How's that work? I don't know.
I don't know
Um,
either.
but and then man, I done forgot. I talked to our buddy Wanzel at work the other morning. And he was talking about hockey, and he mentioned Utah Hockey Club.
Mm-hmm.
They had 3 names that they're going to choose from. They're actually changing it. I mean, they ain't going to leave it
Oh,
there.
they really are.
One, I think, was Sasquatch. They dropped it, so it's down to 2 now. And I can't think of the names that right off the bat that saved the life of me. Man, I can't think of it right now. So,
They could have kept Sasquatch up there because that could have been
um,
up there rivaling with the Predators, the Kraken. What other beast names they got in there?
and it has something to do with Utah in that area. One of the names, and he told me, and I've done forgot. I should have wrote them down, but he said they are getting ready to change that. Hopefully, and that's like hopefully Washington will bring back the Skins name. That's like
Yep.
everybody talks about the Skins because that's what they know them of. I
Yep.
mean, so hopefully they're supposed to be bringing it back. We'll see what happens there.
It's like
Um,
we need to go through hockey and rename them teams anyway. Because if I told you the Panthers beat the Jets 3-2, you would automatically think we were talking NFL. But NHL, they got the Florida Panthers, and I forgot what city the Jets is. It's not Nashville. Nashville got the Predators. Somebody got the Jets, but there's a Jets in the
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg Jets.
Yep, that's right down here. Winnipeg Jets, and then you got the Stars, you got the Wild, Avalanche, the Blues. I think you would change that. St. Louis Blues. You're always. I mean, you ain't doing good. Maybe it's the name Blues.
Yeah, there you go.
And so there's all different names, and there's a lot of hockey teams. I didn't realize that. Let me try to see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I guess there's 8. Well, no different than football. They got 32 teams.
Oh, okay.
They're just broke down in 4 divisions, I guess you could say. You got the Western Conference, and then you got the Eastern Conference, and and each one just broke down into 2 divisions.
Mm.
So just made them look like they had a lot more. All right, let's go ahead and move right along, and we'll get into what you want to talk about, and that's the women's NBA.
Yep. Today was the day that free agency opened up. A lot of trades was made in the WNBA. one of the trades that I was talking about. I was kind of off, but kind of on at the same times, So my predictions, I do pretty good with my predictions. The Indiana Fever got involved in a three-way trade. They traded Nalissa Smith, which I wanted her to go. And she's gone. She got traded along with the number 8 pick, and that's going to Dallas. Now, from Dallas, what they got is I was going with Satu Sabali, but I picked the wrong forward. The forward that we got coming over will be Natasha Howard. And Sabatu Sabali, she will be going to the Phoenix Mercury because Brittany Griner left in free agency and went to the Atlanta Dream.
Yep.
And lastly, the last piece in this is Sophie Cunningham from the Phoenix Mercury will be going to the Indiana Fever. So the Indiana Fever as a starting lineup, you'll have Boston at center, Aaliyah Boston at center, Natasha Howard at the power forward. Unfortunately, since they got Sophie Cunningham now, Lexi Hull goes back to the bench. I didn't like that, but it's understandable. Lexi Hull will go back to the bench, and Sophie Cunningham will come in at that 3 spot. You got Caitlin Clark at the number 1, and our 2 guard will be Kelsey Mitchell because they re-signed her.
Good. I was hoping
they kept her on board.
They kept her because that was kind of a duo you needed with Clark.
Yeah.
And I do see here on my headline news on the women's NBA, it said Detroit eyes a second chance in the women's NBA expansion bid.
Yes, that's what the owner was talking about today when they had their press conference.
So, that's I ain't seeing nothing else. There's a lot of moves going on today, like you said, in the women's NBA.
Oh, Dejanay, a DJ, dirty player from Connecticut, she got traded to the Dallas Wings also. So now her and her girlfriend Alyssa will be right there on the same team.
I was going to ask you a question. What do you? I was going to mention Brittany Griner. You think she's towards the end of her career as far as stats wise?
I think she's pretty much done. I mean, she did get 1 championship when she's with Phoenix. Might have got 2. I think it's only 1. I don't recall.
One. What it says here, won a title. Just says one a title. So
yeah, I thought it was just 1 that the Phoenix won, but I wasn't sure. But here's the thing. She's on the way being done, but here's the thing that gets me. This is what I kind of. It's good that Sabali went to Phoenix because they got, like I said, what's her name? Brittany Griner was aging and she was on her way out, but Sabali, she's young and she's just in there. This is just this upcoming season will be her 5th year. However, she has been injury prone. She's only out of those 5 years. Well, this will be her 5th year. So out of 4 years, she only played a full season once. And they only play 40 games. So, I mean, like, it's not like the men's NBA where you have to try to get 82 in. She's struggling to get 40. She's only done 40 once.
That sounds like LeBron.
Yeah, pretty much. But now here's the bad part about the Fever. They got Natasha Howard. She's a veteran and she's going to be like pretty much on her way out too. She's won 3 WNBA titles. She's Defensive Player of the Year 1 year. Went to the All-Stars twice. She's averaging her career stats is she averaged 17.6 points a game, 6.7 rebounds, 2.9 assists, and 1.3 steals. But she's 33.
She got another 12 years in her. All right. Anything else in the women's NBA?
Let's see. Any other moves that was made that I know about? Nope. Oh, the one I'm gonna say is on air is that three-way trade considering Kelsey Plum so far has not happened, or they are not talking about it. Kelsey Plum was supposed to go to the Sparks. Jewel Lloyd will go to the Aces, and the Storm will get some draft picks. However, that's what they was talking about on YouTube, and everybody was pushing it and pushing it. And I came out and I said on our radio edition that it wasn't going to happen because the person in control of that whole trade is Kelsey Plum because she's not under contract. She would have the only way that trade can be made is she signs with the Aces and then they can trade her. But you would think if it was something like that, all she had to do is sign and trade, and that she didn't have a problem with the trade, that would have been done today. But nowhere has anybody said it. Hasn't been on ESPN, Fox News. Nobody has come up with that Kelsey Plum has joined the LA Sparks. I thought that was a trade that wasn't going to happen, but I do got some more news on it on Unrivaled. I found my female Jordan, and my female Jordan in Unrivaled would be the Sabrina Lunescu. And the reason why I say that is, okay, she's a defending champion. They just came up with the New York Liberty, so they'll be defending champions this year. Angel Reese, once again, starting trouble, got caught on a hot mic talking about some Sabrina Lunescu can't guard anybody. And she went off in that game. 32 points, 7 from 10 from 3-pointers.
My goodness. That Angel Reese, she just stirs stuff up all the time.
She does. And I mean, like her team, the Rose, they're now 1-4. And what you call it, the Phantom where Lunescu plays, they weren't doing too hot. They was I think they were like 1-3. They also both teams came in there 1-3. So now what you call it is 2-3, and what you call it is 1-4. The Roses is 1-4. The Phantom is now 2-3. Wow. She lit them up that night.
Well, I got some scores pulled up in the NBA. Moving on to men. Well, I did. All right, here we go. And man, I hope your Knicks can pull one off tonight.
I know they play the Lakers,
and they're locked up right now. So I hope they can pull it off. But right now, you got a game with 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter. You've got the Hornets and the Nuggets. It's the Nuggets 107, the Hornets 104. That would be a pretty big upset there if the Hornets would beat the Nuggets.
Oh, yeah.
Halftime in Houston. You ready for this? Here's another shocking score as of right now. The Nets are beating the Rockets 53-38 at halftime in Houston. You got the Wizards and the Timberwolves. They're in the third quarter. 11 minutes left. Wizards up 60-57 on the Timberwolves. Halftime, you got Oklahoma, OKC 82, the Kings 55. And there it is, the Lakers in the second quarter with the Knicks. It's 46-44. I hope the Knicks pull one off. LeBron's still putting up points. But give it another 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, he'll be sitting.
Right.
You got the Heat up on the Spurs by 5, 42-37 with 8 minutes in the second. Getting ready to tip off at 10 o'clock will be the Suns and the Trailblazers. And then a couple finals here. My goodness, the score on this game. The Hawks and the Pacers. Pacers 132, the Hawks 127. And then the Jazz and the Magic. The Jazz beat the Magic 113-99. That's the final with the
They
scores.
got a lot of them games getting up in them hundreds, and it's like, and it's not just like it's like the 130s and 140s. I'm like, wow, it's been a lot of those games.
And it's even your teams. It's not playing too well either. That's the thing. If I go back down here, I mean, you look at Atlanta Hawks. They're 22-27, which the Pacers are not much better. You can flip flop that record to 27-20, but there's a lot of. I mean, there's some high scoring games. Nobody's playing no defense no more.
Right. And two, one thing I'm noticing, they haven't got to the All-Star game yet, but some of these teams have already played more than half the season.
The All Star game getting ready to come up. I don't know when it is. You had a final now. The Nuggets end up beating the Hornets 107-104. Jokic had 28 points, 13 boards, and 17 assists. It's looking like he's going to be the Luka this year, as the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what was you was mentioning? Let's see. Yeah, all right. What you was mentioning there with the scoring?
The scores, they're just getting so high. It's like all in the 130s and 140s, and it's like it's consistent. It's like they don't miss. I mean, like they just like you hardly. I remember like in the 80s, 90s when I was coming watching the game, you would see the games would be okay. The Bulls beat the Celtics. It was 92-84.
Yep.
That would be the regular score. But it's just like these guys now are just like they are putting up some points.
And I think we've mentioned this before, not too long ago. I think it has to do with more 3-point shooting compared to back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, you have teams now putting up 30, 40 shots from the 3-point line from behind the arc.
Yeah.
I mean, to compare to 15, 18, 20 the max back in the day in the 90s. So it's like live by the three, die by the three.
You remember back in the 90s, Chris Mullins from Run TMC with the old Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
Chris Mullins. Andrew Wiggins is now currently a Golden State Warrior. He's only been there about maybe 4-5 years. He passed Chris Mullins in 3-pointers made. Chris Mullins he was 7th on the list for 3-pointers made for the Warriors, and he only had 590. So you imagine, so they didn't take that many threes. It's like if
Curry,
I put 3 in a game, and that would be good.
And Curry's done set a record there; it'll never be broken.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how many he's got, but they'll never break it there.
I'm sure he's first.
Oh, I guarantee it. He probably broke it after 3 years. All right. We got some scores to go over in college basketball here. West Virginia don't play today. They play tomorrow. They play Cincinnati tomorrow. West Virginia has dropped their last 3 games, so they need to get back on that winning streak.
Oh, dang. Yeah, it's just like as soon as you get to talking about them, they're like, oh, they're doing good. They're getting ripped off. And they're like, okay, we'll give them this 22. And then, bam, get it taken away.
Right now in the second half with 17 minutes left, you got number 9 Marquette and UConn. UConn's up 44-35. Halftime in South Carolina, you got Texas A&M 44, South Carolina 36. Kentucky and Arkansas are just started in the first half. That's Kentucky 22, Arkansas 20. Here's some finals for you. Number 1 Auburn beat Ole Miss 92-82. You had number 2 Duke over North Carolina 87-70. Here's an upset. Okay. Kansas State beat number 3 Iowa State 80-61. Alabama trashed Georgia 90-69. Man, here's a low scoring game for you. Number 8 Tennessee, number 5 Florida. Tennessee beat Florida 64-44. Then you got Texas Tech. Listen to this. This is where I heard, in the Big 12 smack talk, these crybaby. I'm telling you, the old Pac teams, it don't matter if it's football, basketball, y'all a bunch of crybabies. All you do is cry. Here's Houston. All right, they're number 6 in the country. Houston fans was complaining about the refs, which I didn't watch the game, so maybe there were some missed calls, bad calls, I don't know. But number 22 Texas Tech upset number 6 Houston. I thank the God for this. 82-81.
Oh,
82-81. They have been trashing the Big 12. We're running the Big 12. Now the circus of the Big 12, this circus of the Big 12 because they lost to Texas Tech. Like I said, you new members to the Big 12 it came from the Pac. When it comes to basketball, you got to have your A game in and out every night you play. There is no taking the night off. Look at Iowa. Iowa just got upset by K-State. Okay? And then when you get in the Big 12 tournament, West Virginia could go and run the whole thing. I mean, it's just how it is. I mean,
right.
The Big 12 in basketball is one of the toughest basketball conference, if not the toughest basketball conference that there is. And then you get down here, just like I was talking. All right, let me get down here to got another score getting ready to come up. Well, not this one here. Number 7 Michigan. Well, yeah, they got upset by USC 70-64. Another big upset in the Big 12. Number 11 Kansas got beat by Baylor 81-70. Baylor wasn't ranked. K-State wasn't ranked. That beat Iowa State. So you got to have your A game every day. You slack one day. I don't care if you're at home. You slack and you don't bring your A game, you're going to lose that day. To the worst team in the conference. That's just how the Big 12 is. Number 20 Missouri beat number 4 Mississippi State 88-61. Number 15 St. John's and Providence. I ain't heard teams like this for a while. Back when we was in the Big 12. St. John's beat Providence 68-66. They about got upset. St. John's has only lost 3 games. 17 Wisconsin beat Northwestern 75-69. Louisville got beat by Georgia Tech. I got upset 77-70. And this was just upset Saturday for basketball. Number 24 Vanderbilt got thrashed by Oklahoma 97-67. Oklahoma wasn't even ranked.
Oh, so they ain't gonna be ranked at 30 points.
They ain't gonna be ranked. Louisville may not be ranked at the 21st spot, but that's the scores and some rundowns of the top 25 in the men's basketball. But I love to see Houston go down. That's 2 teams now. From now on, here on out, I'll never root for Houston and I'll never root for Utah.
Them Utes.
The biggest trash talking to I guess fan bases I've ever seen in my life. And but Houston went down. All right, let's go to women's here. Women's basketball. Got some scores to go over right here. Actually, there was only one game today, surprisingly. That was West Virginia and Oklahoma State. West Virginia's ranked 21, Oklahoma State 24. West Virginia rolled 54-37 over Oklahoma State.
All right now.
And they put a whooping on them. And then Oklahoma State was 18-4, and West Virginia is 17-4. West Virginia's women's basketball has always been pretty decent. It's hard for them to compete with the big dogs, though, at the top. But
right.
And then let's see. There should be some games tomorrow. Let's see what the women's Yeah, okay. Here's the women's slate for tomorrow. Um, I don't know why. I guess because of they had a lot of men's games today. Is the reason majority of theirs is tomorrow. You got number 2 South Carolina and Auburn. You got number 3 Notre Dame at Louisville. Number 6 UConn is hosting Butler. You've got number 14 Maryland hosting Illinois. Number 4 USC goes to Iowa. I bet you Iowa wish they had Caitlin Clark.
Oh yeah.
Number 7 LSU is hosting Mississippi State. Number 20 Georgia Tech goes on the road to Miami. Number 1 UCLA playing Minnesota at home. Number 11 K State is going to Kansas. Well, they're in Kansas, but
Mm-hmm.
Number 15 North Carolina is going to Stanford to play. Number 16 Michigan State is at Northwestern. Number 18 Tennessee is at Missouri. 22 Alabama is hosting Georgia. 23 Vanderbilt is hosting Ole Miss. Number 9 TCU goes to Iowa State. Number 12 Kentucky is going to play number 13 Oklahoma at Oklahoma. Number 8 Ohio State is hosting Washington. Number 19 California will be hosting Pittsburgh. Number 5 Texas goes to Texas A&M. And then the last game of to round it out is number 25 Florida State will be playing Wake Forest. That's the lineup for tomorrow in women's basketball. And I guess that's about it as that goes.
Yep. Remember we was talking on the radio show this week. We said this one might be a short one because there's no football.
I don't think
I'm
so.
looking. I'm looking at the time. I'm like, yeah, gonna be a short one.
All right, let's see here. Let's get over here to the NFL.
Because you got some Buffalo news that I ain't even heard. I was like, oh my goodness. Like,
Well, I got to figure out where I never did click on it because all that clickbait you get.
right. But I got on mine one of them. His name, I can't, it's like Hollingsworth or something like that. He's a wide receiver. He actually scored a touchdown in that game against KFC. He's pretty good. He won a Super Bowl with Philly, but Philly cut him because he has a bad attitude. And he's the right wide receiver. He had caught that ball, got a first down, and turned right around and got 15 yards because he's running his mouth and all that other stuff.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I figure if they cut anybody, he's one of them that's got to go
Well,
because he has plenty of penalties on him.
let's see here. I was trying to see if this was going to pop up again. Let's see. It's yeah. I never did. I wish I'd have clicked on it to see who they was cutting, but a lot of times that's got that clickbait.
Right.
It came to my phone and I didn't click on it, and they could be cutting. They could be cutting 6 players from the practice roster. And that's how they get you. But I never did click on it to see. I bet it was because it's not like they had a. Oh, I did see some other Bills news. They said something they can add, and to me, here's my thing. Talking about adding adding hyping. I don't know. You can say hyping it up or whatever. Now, the Bills is they talked about the Bills adding another receiver to with Josh Allen.
Cooper. Yeah.
And guess who the name it popped up that they could add to that roster? Brandon Ayuk.
Probably so. I think Brandon Ayuk is gone out of what you call it.
Well, and my thing is, they said he could be the number one, but I don't see him being a number one receiver. That's my thing.
He's better as a number 2. He don't want to be a number 1.
So, you're adding him, and they're trying to. If you're trying to find the number 1 receiver, it's not Brandon Ayuk. I ain't saying he won't put some numbers up. Um, and everything, but I mean, he'd be a good ad. But I thought, let me tell you this, I thought Amari Cooper would do better than he did in Buffalo, but he didn't.
Yeah.
So when he went there, I was like, man, this is a good ad. I said he could be your number one receiver and all this, and he wasn't your number one receiver. Shakir was. So I don't know if they're looking for a number one receiver. I don't see Brandon Ayuk. I mean, Brandon Ayuk had $120 million, or I think it was something like that.
Yeah, he got a big contract.
So he got a big contract. I can't see the Bills spending that type of money on Brandon Ayuk. I mean, why don't you just go to the draft board and draft a receiver? I mean, you got your receiving core that you got, and they didn't do bad. They got you to the AFC Championship. Keep them and add a good rookie receiver coming in,
Right.
or maybe go to if you're looking for a guy, go to Tampa Bay and try to pull Mike Evans, something like that.
Yep. I know I heard some news on Instagram, but I don't trust that Instagram news. But this one sounds kind of realistic. Justin Fields is looking to leave Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh kind of wants to keep Russell Wilson, which they can do that, but they need to get him some receivers. They need to get rid of George Pickens. He is not a number one. He's not a number three.
No, he. I've never cared for Pickens. Everybody's like, well, they got Pickens, but Pickens he ain't put up no numbers.
He sure ain't. I mean, what you call it? I could put on there if you don't keep George Pickens, we can put Kadarius Toney on the other side, and I bet you Kadarius is going to outperform him. If you don't count the drop balls, he's going to outperform him.
The catches, he will. I see where your Cowboys has got another hire. Cards O line. Coach Adams is your offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
They're moving, but I don't know if it's the right direction, but they're moving.
Yeah, I don't know about this. I'm gonna give him. I said 2 games, but I'm like, really, I just want to give him 1. They dropped that first one. I'm like, I'm done. I am done. I will be talking about. I am going to seriously see if I can get a petition to make Jerry sell them boys.
You just need to get. He just needs to give it up.
He does.
All right. What's your take on all this that's going on around the Super Bowl with all? I'm just going to say it's crying. The crying that's going on, how it's rigged, it's cheating. I mean, it never stops. I mean, there's a thing there. You get Pat McAfee's guy has this his Facebook page, and it said 300,000 people said they ain't gonna watch the Super Bowl because they're cheated. It's rigged. I've never seen it before in my life.
You know, the worst part I hate about that is when the players is talking about it's rigged and all this other stuff. Even though Pat McAfee, he didn't play pro, but he played college. He know dang on well none of them games was rigged.
Well, it wasn't Pat McAfee. Someone commented on it. They posted it.
On his show.
On his Facebook page thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it said there was 300,000. No, I don't think Pat McAfee. He's not. He would never say it's rigged. But you got them people posting stuff on there all the time, and everything. But it's it never stops. I mean, never stops. Which, people don't take in consideration. The majority of the fans don't, because they buy in everything they hear and they buy in everything they see. But it comes down to coaching. Okay. Just like a boy I was working with, he's a Bills fan. I commented on his thing because he said they were going to win the Super Bowl. This is our year. We're winning the Super Bowl. And I commented, I said, man, I said, the Chiefs got the better coaches. When it comes down, when you got two teams that's got talent, like the Bills had, and you got talent that the Chiefs got, it's going to come down to coaching.
Mhm.
Okay. Some people will disagree, but coaching can win or lose you ball games. As a coach, you got to put your players in a position to win. And Andy Reid is the best in the game to adjust on the fly during the game to change his game plan. So we'll see what happens and everything. But I mean, as this stuff goes on, but it's all about when it comes to that the coaching. No, I don't think it's rigged. Do they miss calls? Yeah, they miss calls,
Mhm.
and stuff like that. And some of the rules are the rules of the NFL. Like that ball that touched the ground, that ball didn't move according to the rule in the NFL. I do not like it. Personally, no, I do not like it. But the rule in the NFL, if the ball don't move, it's a catch.
It's just like that helmet to you hitting the okay, here's what it is. I just about to say because I was about to say it wrong. People get confused. They think the rule on quarterbacks is helmet to helmet, and that is not the rule. Or the rule is you cannot, I don't care if it's your hand, you cannot hit the quarterback in the head, period.
No, neck on up.
It's a foul. It's a rule. So when
If you take that shoulder and hit him in the head with your shoulder, you're gonna get
still
called for
getting
charging.
fined. Yes. It could be the shoulder. Oh, he led with his shoulder. You still hit the head. It doesn't matter if it's intentional or unintentional. It is a foul. I mean, like, and I just I hate how. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it because I would like to see quarterbacks just starting to get hit just like regular players.
Yeah.
Especially for all the money. It's like, oh, you said you was worth $216 $216 million, not $216.
That's probably what they're worth.
Exactly. You
But,
worth all that money, but you can't take a hit. Nah.
All right. We'll mention this, and then there's some other stuff I'm going to bring up right here in the NFL. We'll touch on a little bit of the Super Bowl that's coming up. They were, I was hoping to get some tickets through VetTix. I did my bid and I didn't get them. I was like, crap. One of the Super Bowls I'd love to go to. But I think the key factor for the Chiefs to beat the Eagles is to contain and slow down Barkley.
Yes.
That's the key factor. That's the X factor, because the Eagles passing game is nothing you got to worry about.
In fact, you would rather have Hurts passing.
Yeah. But now here's another thing. And number two, if you remember, Hurts is still hurt. He's got that aggravated knee because he hurt it at the end of the division game, if you remember. And then in the NFC game, when he was scrambling and running, you can tell it's bothering him because he didn't have the speed. So in 2 weeks, that knee ain't going to heal 100%. Nope. So it's still going to labor him a little bit. It's going to affect his running. He ain't going to have that speed that he had before that going in to take off. So, okay, so now you don't have to worry about Jalen Hurts taking off with 100% knee like you did before. Yeah. So you can put some more attention towards Barkley.
Yeah, he's the key. If you can shut him down, you can't let him get to running.
No, I mean and here's, I've said it before with the Chiefs. The Chiefs' Achilles heel is guarding running back coming out of the backfield on passes.
For that screen, yep.
They struggle with that. But now, too, a lot of that could be when you have a running quarterback, you're spying that quarterback, you're keeping on that quarterback. making
Mhm.
sure that quarterback's contained, and then all of a sudden that receiver's out in the flat wide open. But that is one of their Achilles heels is stopping that. But the passing game is not going to be a big threat, I don't think, at all. So we'll see what happens there. As this is moving forward and everything else. But they gotta work on Barkley. Barkley's going to be tough.
Yep. He
Um,
will.
and to me, I think you would spy. I put a spy on Barkley. You got your linebackers probably going to take him, but I'll have a spy too. You know.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I just wish Lamar Jackson can be Philly's quarterback this time. I can count on him to forget about the run and try to run it himself. And
Fumble.
yeah, he'll take care of Barkley for us.
All right. Well, speaking of news with the Ravens, we had Justin Tucker pulling a Deshaun Watson and more stuff emerging from him. So I doubt he'll be in Baltimore next year. And that's a big if you look at it, which now it all makes sense. All right, think about this. Justin Tucker struggled this year, first time as a kicker.
Yep.
Well, no wonder. Look what he was doing in Baltimore.
Yep.
So now it all makes sense why he was struggling in Baltimore. Now he's probably going to be out of Baltimore.
Uh-huh.
So now the Ravens are going to be looking for a field goal kicker, and it's going to be hard to replace him with his caliber of a kicker that he was. But these guys do stupid stuff. Now this ain't a young dude.
Honestly, I just had an idea. And especially if KC wins this Super Bowl, Buckner's gone. It is the hardest thing is trying to keep teams together.
Buckner ain't going. He just signed a big contract.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, it was
Okay,
like
well,
last
he's
year.
safe.
Yeah,
If he's safe, then if he signed the contract.
yeah.
I can see him going to another team.
Well, yeah, I can see where Tucker's going.
Cleveland.
Yep. At least the Browns are going to have a field goal kicker. Well, when he gets back from
I
his
know.
suspension.
Be
But
like, Deshaun, how you get rid of your case, Deshaun? Help me out.
all right, and here's the difference between them two with their situation. Deshaun was a young and dumb. Okay,
Yeah.
Tucker is older. Okay, Tucker knows better. This ain't like he's a young kid. I mean, this is an older adult, and he knows better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he got banned and kicked out of every massage parlor in Baltimore. Every one.
Exactly.
That
Here's
is.
my
Why didn't he go to jail?
to an extent, I think the organization knew because that's what probably kept him out of jail. They probably made some deals to keep him out of jail. It's just like it's just too much of it. It's just starting to hit the fan. It was like a couple of people spoke out, and then there was a few more that came, and some more that came. It just kept piling up.
Well, I guess evidently I see here on the headline news with the NFL. Wilson has said he's focused on the Steelers, not on Raiders talk. So is the Raiders trying to get Russell Wilson?
I don't know. They might have been trying, but
And
last
here, well, it all makes sense. Get it? Who's the coach of the Raiders now?
who is the coach of the Raiders?
Pete Carroll.
Oh yeah, sure is.
So it's all. But the thing is, Russell Wilson started good. Okay, played 5 or 6 games good, and he fell off towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, he don't have no receivers.
I know you and George Pickens is your top person to throw to. That's not really saying much. Not only this whole offense need to be revamped because I was not really. I know he came out of Alabama, but Najee Harris, I was not really sold on him. He's not a number one back. To me, he has never been that guy. He was like what's their name? He had Chase Claypool
Mm-hmm.
had that one awesome rookie year, and then just faded.
Yeah, he did.
I don't even know if he's even in the league anymore.
I don't know. He's been all over the place. He went to Bears for a while. I
Yep.
think he went to Washington for a while. He was all over the
Yep.
place. Yeah, he had that one good year, and it goes about the system. I think. Well, I mean, who was it? Julie Edelman that left the Patriots and came back.
Yeah, because
All
when
right,
he left,
he
he
left.
had big headed.
He left, didn't do nothing, comes back, and it's like he never missed a beat.
Yep.
It was all about the system, and that's what it boils down to. Is it comes down to the system.
Yeah, because you mentioned because when he left New England. I think he went to Tennessee. Didn't he go there?
Yeah, he went. Yeah, he went somewhere. I think it was Tennessee. Well, it probably was Tennessee because that's where the receivers go to die.
Yep.
So, but and then let's see here. I don't think that's all about all the news as far as um, anything big. It says, and to me, this could be. It says Bucks Evans is mulling of joining the USA for flag football. USA flag football team. And since I mentioned flag football, I'll mention this, and we're about done with time already.
Yep.
Thing is, they got flag football coming the next time in the Olympics. Okay, I did not know there was actually professional flag football players. Okay,
I didn't know that either.
well, there's actually professional flag football teams. Well, here's the big chaos because they talked about getting some of the NFL players to play the flag football for the Olympics. Well, they said, wait a minute, we're professional flag football team, we're players, it should be us, which I agree with them. You're talking about flag football compared to them playing in the NFL. The NFL players has their time to shine and their time. That professional flag football players, that's their time to play in the Olympics. Plain and simple.
Yeah. But to an extent, I think you would have to include NFL players in that too, because what is the chances of them actually getting hurt during flag football?
You can still tear an ACL.
Yeah, I guess you could. Because I was about to say, I'd hate to get out there and try to play. If they went tackle football, you get the pros in there, they break something and, for a doggone gold medal, and they done totally screwed their team. So, you could be out for the season.
So, but we'll see what happens when that comes down to it. I think they should use the professional flag football players that's already playing flag football.
Right.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Anything else you want to touch up on? We're at the end of our show already.
Nope. I don't think we have to say anything because Super Bowl next week. And we'll have a show before the Super Bowl next week. So even though everybody already know our pick is Chiefs, but just in case, we'll have to wait till next Saturday and we'll remind them.
Yeah, it's going to be. I don't think that score ain't going to get out of the 20s. And see, that's the thing with the Chiefs. The Chiefs, they do not blow people out. They do not get blown out. They're in ball games. It's going to be down to the wires. It's whoever's going to have the ball last.
Yeah.
I said I had a script at my house. The Eagles going to be driving, and the Eagles going to go to kick a game-winning field goal to win the game with time running off, and they miss it and give the Chiefs their 3-peat.
Right. Here's my thing. I don't know if I want to go ahead and call it out because I bet on FanDuel they'll have a somebody be betting on this. You think Jalen Hurts will fumble? I think I see a Jalen Hurts fumble in this game.
We'll see. Well, it could be because with that knee, not being able to scramble and get out of the pocket.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. The Chiefs defense up front and Spagnolia knows how to blitz
Mm-hmm.
and get after people. That that could possibly be. He can go tuck it to go run and the ball come out. But we'll see what happens coming next weekend.
Yep.
All right, this is all the time we have for this episode. Like we always do, if you're thinking about harming and hurting yourself, there's a quick number to dial 988 and then dial 1. They'll take you to the people you need to talk to, or it's the Veterans Crisis Line. It's 1-800-273-8255. That quick number takes you to that Veterans Crisis that crisis line where you don't have to remember all those numbers. So
Right. Exactly.
just dial that
Go with the quick
988.
one.
Go with that quick number. But always keep in contact with your friends, your battle buddies, those that are serving. If you notice any change of behavior or anything like that, talk to them. Also, you can go to your local VA medical center, go to the ER, tell them you need to talk to somebody, get some help. They'll get you in contact to the people you need to. Anything else, Beans?
Nope.
Well, if that's it for this episode, y'all stay safe and catch us this week on the audio during the week, and we'll see you next Saturday at 9.
Here's something I can go ahead and put out because just in case they want to catch the audio, you can look us up at wherever you get your podcast from. You like Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're on there under at Vets Plus Sports, all one word. At Vets Plus Sports, and you'll find us. But that's all.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Stay safe.